be probably a better choice in this particular case. But we'll have to see what happens. That is a lot of Archons. And NtroP, I think he does know that this base is here, and he's going to go try to take it out. This planetary defense almost finishing here. I think it is going to finish just in time, although NtroP getting in a few good shots. Taking out that missile turret, the planetary defense does finish. NtroP moving in there trying to take it down, although it wasn't really being mined out of, but any base taken out is, you know, he'll take whatever he can get at this point. Rocket coming in from behind, but NtroP does now have the high ground. Not stimming, putting down storms. Oh, that's some great storms pushing Rocket back. Rocket can't even stim with all those storms going down. These Archons are going to be able to push Rocket back. They do have a little bit of AoE. It's not a whole lot, but it is enough when those Marauders are all stimmed and low like that to do significant damage. Although NtroP losing a lot of those Archons there. Lost a lot on the Planetary Fortress as well. Pretty much going to lose the rest of these units, but he did. Look at how small that army got. Remember how big that was a moment ago when Rocket pulled in there? Storm and Archons and everything just doing so much damage. NtroP immediately creating more of those. NtroP still just holding on by a thread. If we go to the army, it's 150 to 50 right now. Where are all of Rocket's forces? Are they all used up in gatherers? Only 64 gatherers, so I suppose it's not quite that. Go to the unit tab there. Looks like he does have 31 Marauders. That is quite a few. And he is going to take out these buildings of NtroP, probably preparing it for another expansion of his own. Meanwhile, NtroP beginning to take that gold. If he can hold on to this gold, he may be able to swing things around. But we will see what happens here. Continuing to see what happens. Rocket putting down another, presumably defensive command center, although it's still not in that forward position. May just be trying to wall off this whole area, trying to protect his main, possibly. Protect all his production buildings. Another very Marauder-heavy bio-ball beginning to form in front of Rocket's gold expansion, which is mined out now practically. Rocket really has no bases anymore to mine out. If we go to the income tab, now NtroP has swung ahead. NtroP mining from this third base again, and he's about to get this gold up and running again. So NtroP starting to swing back beyond all imaginings, I suppose. The Templar and the Archons able to hold off Rocket's heavy Marauder force with those storms. Although this is a very large army coming out now for Rocket. Does look like he is going to send some down to do a little bit of scouting here and just making sure that NtroP is not expanding again. Gold expansion does finally go down, and NtroP is going to be able to move over a lot of gatherers to start saturating that. If you go back to the base, we do have another observer coming out. NtroP not sparing any scouting information at this point. He wants to know exactly what Rocket is doing at every second in the game, because really at any point this could end. The army tab still showing a huge disparity, almost 100 food disparity. Rocket may be being a little bit too hesitant in this game. I feel like he could have ended it. Some zealots coming in just to see what's going on. He can assume now that this base has been taken by Rocket. Some bunkers going down there as well to protect it. Looks like NtroP is moving out. He does catch this group of Marauders unawares. Rocket trying to run away, but those zealots with leg speed are not going to allow him to. He decides to stay and fight, do whatever damage he possibly can. And the only problem here is that NtroP's force is way out of position. Rocket coming in here, probably going to be able to take out the entire natural of NtroP. I don't see really what he can do. NtroP scrambling to get his forces back here in time. And Rocket is just going to move into the main. He's going to go right for those production buildings, starting with the Templar Archives, stimming to take down everything he can. And lots of zealots coming in from behind. He is going to push Rocket up into that main. Rocket turning around, holding out that zealot wall. Zealots just throwing themselves against those Marauders. Storm going on off there. More storms going down on the Marauders. Rocket is probably going to lose this entire force, although NtroP is looking very sparse as far as that army goes. More storms going down, and there's really nowhere Rocket can go. NtroP doing a great job of storming those Marauders and taking those out. So what could have been a game-ending attack, looks like one Marauder's still there. He's dead now. What could have been a game-ending attack thwarted by some storms and maybe Rocket trapping himself a little bit. He is moving now to take this and start to get that income going again. NtroP takes this opportunity to go in and take this left side base for Rocket. These bunkers are not going to be too much of a threat without anyone inside of them. And it looks like the Zealots and the Archons and even the Sentries are going to be able to make short work of this. But we do have some reinforcements coming in from behind for Rocket. That's a lot of medevacs. Feedback's going down on the medevacs. forcing Rocket back again. Every time he attacks, NtroP just forces him back with those Storms and Archons. Such a deadly force for Bio. And Rocket showing a little bit of immovability here, not really changing his tech up at all, just going for Marauders, just mass Marauders all game long. And that's turning out to not really be the best thing in these late game stages. NtroP now mining from that gold expansion. And yeah, if we go to the income tab, lots of much less harvesters than before for Rocket. He did lose some when he did lose that base. NtroP catching up amazingly. Maybe even going to be ready for an attack sometime soon. Let's go to the production tab and see what's going on. We do have a fleet beacon going up. Not sure what that could mean. It looks like NtroP is going to attack this. Already has the Nexus planned on going down. He's very confident about this, although we do see mass repair going for this SCVs. No, they stopped repairing. Storm's going down on those SCVs. And it looks like he may be able to take down this planetary fortress, although there is a group of Marauders coming in. They stim in. Storm's going down on those, but also down on the Zealots as well and High Templar. It does look like Rocket is going to be able to hold off this attack. NtroP almost was able to take it. So NtroP wasting what little forces he has there, trying to take out that planetary fortress. But he does get a lot of SCV kills. If we go back to the income tab, yeah, it looks like he killed about 12 of them. So inching ever closer to being even with Rocket, pulling this game back from the jaws of defeat, from the brink of disaster. But we'll have to see if he's able to follow through and pull it off. NtroP keeping an eye on this base. Doesn't look like there's any repairs going on. That's going to make it easier to take on down the road. Another bunker going down for Rocket there. And Rocket has retaken this other expansion, muling up, trying to mine that as quickly as he possibly can. Yep, now with those mules, the income spiking incredibly high there for Rocket, but it is temporary. Meanwhile, NtroP just building up more forces. Rocket does scan and see that he has the gold. He must have known that he had that before then. Just confirming possibly, although you never know. Mass Void Rays hitting this planetary command center. And he is going to take down this base fairly easily. Void Rays coming out of nowhere. This could be very bad for Rocket, as he was going heavy Marauder all game. There are turrets across the map here and there, but I don't think there's going to be enough to hold this off. In the meantime, Rocket coming down, taking out the gold expansion. We may see a base race here, folks. We'll see what happens. These Void Rays coming back to defend. Guess we're not seeing a base race. Charging up on his own Nexus. He's going to need to take down those Marauders if he has any hope of victory. Bring in a lot of Void Rays. 7 Void Rays, 8 Void Rays. A lot are charged up. It looks like he is going to take down NtroP's only other mining base. So these Void Rays are now charged up, and they do have the speed, so they're going to be able to chase down those Marauders even with Stim. One Lone Reaper wondering, what the heck am I doing in this fight? And those Void Rays turning around, they were able to chase off that attack. NtroP going to take out this planetary fortress. Rocket's only mining base. Neither player is really mining now at this point after this base goes down. That is a lot of Void Rays. Rocket moving away his SCVs just in case, and NtroP does take down this base. This is looking very bad for Rocket at the moment. Rocket's still massing Marauders, and that's not going to do very well against the Void Rays. Void Rays now moving up to this main. If they get into this main, this is probably going to be GG for Rocket, which would be amazing considering that 100 food disparity we saw just a little bit ago. NtroP charging up in there. We do have a few Vikings coming in, but with those charged Void Rays, it's just not going to be enough. One Void Ray may go down here. One Void Ray does go down, but those Vikings taken out almost instantaneously. Doing a good job keeping the charge with those Void Rays. We do have Rocket moving down with a desperation attack. He knows there's Void Rays in the main, and there's nothing he can do about it. NtroP only has a small amount of defense, although he does have 3 Void Rays here. See if that's going to be able to do anything. Zealot's saying, please leave, but it's not going to be enough. Rocket's going to try to take down this base, although he'd be better off going and taking down the production structures. NtroP having the long distance mine, so both players' income at 0 at the moment. It is more or less a base race now. These yeah, these Void Rays coming in to take out the Marines. Doesn't look like it's going to be quite enough to take out these Marines, though. Just enough to take out the Void Rays. And the Marauders still doing heavy damage. And the Stargates are going to go down, so no more Void Rays for NtroP. This last one, down before that Void Ray even comes out. In the meantime, Rocket trying to rebuild. Charged Void Rays coming up and taking out these Marauders. It looks like he's going to be able to finish off the rest of those Marines, and this attack is going to be able to be cleaned up fairly quickly. NtroP finishing off almost all the production buildings in the main of Rocket. And yeah, NtroP able to finish off this. So looks like NtroP is probably going to win this. Rocket doing some desperation long distance mining, very long distance mining from this left side base. And the Marauders are all dead. NtroP moving across the map unopposed with these Void Rays. There's nothing that Rocket can do. Looks like this is going to be the end of the game. So NtroP, Rocket saying I hate TvP. I think more likely he hates Void Rays when he has only Marauders. That's never any fun, and I do play Terran, so I feel for him. GG, NtroP, GG's back, and Rocket has left the game. So there you have it, folks. NtroP coming back from over 100 food disparity, able to hold off those massive attacks by Rocket with the Storm and the Archons. Pretty epic game at the end there. Great TvP on XelNaga Caverns. So hey, thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching this game live as it was played. It was very, very intense, so I'm glad I could come back and cast it for y'all. Definitely stay tuned for more StarCraft 2, and I'll see you guys later.